In today's video, I'm going to teach you something that's going to save you thousands of dollars in commissions, and I mean that quite literally because this has been the number one deal killer for me since I actually started my career. I can't begin to tell you how many commission dollars I've actually lost to what I'm going to be discussing with you today. It's a very simple to fix thing. However, it's going to be present in every single one of your transactions. So if you're watching this video and you're just getting started in mortgage, this is the perfect video for you to learn from because, again, I'm not being dramatic when I tell you that this particular thing has cost me more money in my mortgage career than absolutely everything else, okay? If you don't know who I am, my name is Zevi. I'm an owner of a mortgage company, a wholesale mortgage company in Los Angeles, California. And if you're new to the channel and you enjoy these videos, then please subscribe to the channel. And if you enjoy this particular video, then I would highly encourage you to give it a thumbs up so other people like yourself can find it on the web. That's all I ask. With that, let's get started and let's talk about it. You might think that you need to learn everything about mortgage from the gate, which is the fear that a lot of people have before they start communicating with borrowers and referral partners so you don't blow up your deal, right? You might think that having to size up a borrower correctly is the one thing that's going to cause things to go sideways. You might think that telling somebody the wrong guideline or maybe misquoting a rate is the one thing that's going to make everything go sideways, but it really isn't. And let me shed some light on that. There are things in the transaction that are always going to be correctable, meaning that if you've made a mistake, you can always come back and say, hey, you know what? Because your credit is in the mid 600s and not in the low 700s, this is going to be your pricing. Or because you told me that the property is worth X and we've just had it appraised and it's worth Z, well, there's going to be adjustment to the cost because the loan to value is now different. These are all things that no matter what you've talked about initially, because as you progress in the transaction, you will find that things will naturally unfold. And then with this new information, you're able to make these adjustments and corrections. However, the one thing that I want to talk to you about, which is huge, is the fact that in every single transaction that you're going to do, you're going to need to run the borrower's credit in the name of your company, all right? And the problem with that is that the second you do that, your borrower or borrowers are going to turn into what we call a trigger lead. Let me elaborate on that. It's interesting, and I'm doing this video because not only did this cost me the most amount of money in my career, but it's actually a conversation that I had with a borrower this morning. So bringing this back into real life, something that I'm actually dealing with today. What happens is whenever you pull somebody's credit, the bureaus, the three credit bureaus, they actually sell their information to other loan officers, other broker shops for as little as $1 or less. Now, mind you, these vendors, they buy this data in bulk. So somebody might pay, for 1,500 leads every week or two. And if your borrower's name is on that list simply because you ran their credit, then they're probably going to receive a phone call or a text from, I'm going to say, at least 10 plus companies that are going to try to offer them a better deal than what it is that you have going right out of the gate. This makes it extremely difficult, especially when a lot of these companies might tell your borrower that they are actually the ones representing them in this transaction. Your borrower might get confused and actually give them their information. This actually happens a lot. I have a very hard time believing that this is still legal. And the truth of the matter is, this is one piece of the puzzle, of the lending puzzle, that is actually being disputed with legislation today. But as of now, it's still perfectly legal. And so what I want to talk to you about in this video is how do we go about making sure that this doesn't cost you a commission? Because I got to tell you this, you're never going to be the absolute cheapest rate in town. It's not possible because somebody's always willing to work for less. And if you're only dealing with a borrower whose main concern is only rate, then you're going to lose that transaction. What you want to do to fix this problem, let's shift from the problem to the solution, is you want to take advantage of a website that is called Opt-out Prescreen. Now, mind you, I'm going to give you the URL that you could check this out for yourself. For any reason you ever forget, all you have to know is that my company, loanbrook.com, has resources available for you. And right at the top of my website, you're going to see a tab that says Resources and Forms. And if you scroll down to the bottom, you're going to see Opt-out Prescreen. Now I'm going to click on this real quick, and I want to go through this with you. Optoutprescreen.com. So once you initiate a transaction, you know that you're going to be pulling the borrower's credit. What you want to do is go to Opt-out Prescreen, and you're going to have an opportunity here to basically omit your borrower's information from electronic website, for a period of 5 years. You don't have to actually do this for the borrower. You could just send them a link and say, hey, I'm going to pull your credit in this transaction. Just so you know, as soon as I pull your credit, 1 million companies are going to reach out to you. And the reason is because your information is going to be public record, and this is a part of how the 3 credit bureaus make their money. All right, so you should definitely let them know that, because it's totally going to happen. You just basically want to pick the electronic opt-out for 5 years. You click that, super simple. You continue. It just tells you to put in your basic information and submit the form. Now, the only thing you have to know about this is the fact that you might not be able to literally just fill the form, press send, and then go run the credit. I would personally wait about 24 to 48 hours for this to kick in. I'm going to tell you that this piece of the puzzle, which actually takes place right in the beginning of the transaction as a loan officer, is huge for you to be able to retain and keep your commission. You've had this conversation with the borrower. You have a meeting of the mind. They actually like you and they want to retain your services. You might have already discussed the cost of the transaction. The last thing you want at this point in the game is to have 17,000 companies call your borrower and solicit them with either legitimate or illegitimate offers, because they'll do anything they can to basically reel them in. All right. I really hope that this saves you guys thousands. And I genuinely mean that. I can't begin to tell you. I didn't know about this when I first got started. And every single time I ran credit, like 1 million companies started calling my borrowers. It was extremely frustrating. All right. So I'm dealing with this morning. It's not an issue because it's a borrower that I've worked with many times. But he told me, goes, hey, Zevi, my phone's been blowing up since you guys pulled the credit. It's crazy. These people are even telling me they're actually working on my file. I know they're not. So hopefully you guys don't have to deal with this. All right. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below. Like I said earlier, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up so other loan officers can find this and take advantage of it. And if you enjoy these videos, then please subscribe to my channel. All right. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching this. Hopefully you found some value in it. If you did find value, drop me a comment. Let me know what you learned. Let me know if this is a good idea for your business, all right? I appreciate you, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.